Hello and welcome everyone. So I'm back again. Yesterday, early today, we did a better part of our application that we're building. So continue with that. Probably I'll finish up this app today so that this we can move to something else. So being that it's taken a bit of time, but I think we'll complete it today. If there are any other things that may be needed, then we can work on the same, but can share in the chats maybe more features that may be required. But based on whatever we had done yesterday, we have just open this up. So we have this. This is our app, and I think it's storing everything, and I can say so far so good. Based on functionality, it's better. UI might be off, but the functionality that is employed in this, I think, is you can use it for any application that you wish, be it a dashboard, be it forms, and the practicality of the skills you need. We've so far worked with forms. We are building a dashboard, and we have also persisted our state, of which we've leveraged just the Vue.js core instead of using third party for state management. But when now things start getting complex, you need to use that. But for this app, I think this is just enough. So it's just okay the way it is. So I think I need to. We had issue with building this layout, and I want to work on that. So it was a bit confusing how this was going to play out. Then so let's just add here the form so that everything is spaced out. Then for these cards, we move them down there. Then we'll add a bit of shadow. Then if you hover, we should scale maybe 105, just a bit. So then you can have cursor. When you hover, you should have a cursor pointer. Okay. So then you can just make it a transition. Transition on is in. Then from there, duration, let's say 300. So if I hover, should take a bit of, yeah, that's better. Then because this is the child, so I think I'll swap this. Let me just have a div scene. The hierarchy of this one thing. So this one also will display them in flex. Okay. Right. Okay, it's already flex. Then flex call reverse. So we'll reverse the order. Then I think we'll work out this utility. So for the layout, we had a layout where currently we need some colors for this medium, high, low, so that we don't just have it in plain. So medium, high, work study should be having almost similar color. Then if we come to high, low, we can have the same color. So maybe if I just zoom in a bit, this is what you're having currently. So we have 3 pending tasks. So this is based on priority. This is based on statuses. So if we come back here to, how do we call it? So I don't want this to span so much. What I can do to limit that, I'll add a flex basis. So I can just add that by doing this flex hyphen, then another one, then a maximum of maybe 20 rand. So with flex basis, we just confirm basis. So we have a basis of 100. Let's see. Basis number auto initial inherit. So let me see. It's flex basis shortened. So I think there's always a shrink. So grow, shrink, then basis. So that means if I have a flex container, I want the children to take up as much space as possible, but on a limited ratio, so that let's say, for instance, work, study and work, or pendings. We don't need to expand the whole screen. So that means we can go with, let's first style up these ones. We add a utility, just close that. So we add a utility here, which is known as let me just check on the charts. Okay. So we have this here, and just okay. So class here, because that's the key. I have the value. Just start with the value, because the value will be a bit bold and huge. So we can make font extra bold. Then, because all of them are numbers, you can raise the font size of text, maybe to 4x extra large. Yeah. So with that, at least they're popping out. Then, because these are cards, I think we can just capitalize the item here. You can capitalize, and we don't really center. So I can just add maybe cards, so that then where did we put the text center? So where did we put the text center? So justify center, justify between. I just do that. Then there's something affecting this. So with this, we just text. Yeah. Let me show if that will work. Okay, we were let's there was something about flex basis here that we're working on. So I tried off with grid and it kind of failed. So let me drop this and see how. So this is grid. and with this grid, so let's add the grid, 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 grid equals 4. Okay. So with that, you can see we have those grids there. So I can choose to go with this, or let's make it 3 to just have everything maybe popping out. So this is not much, and these are the items we are having actually. So that means if you go to the dashboard and navigate to tasks, there's one item which we need to add here, but for now let's finish up on the dashboard. So to go back to the task list, I had a utility function for doing the badge color. So that means what I'll do is to just on this, I will create a folder known as so utils, then maybe how do we call this function? Badge color. Get status badge color .ts. Okay, need to rename this. The factory name should be ts. Then we can just from here extract this, paste on this other end, then we can just export. So from here we can duplicate this to maybe have something which is pending. So completed, we'll have it in green. Then we just have this in it. Done. I think it's done. So we can maybe this move this to task status. I'm not sure if I have status. We have the priority. Is it? Where is this file located? So we have it in the models, CRC models. So if we navigate to models, tasks, priority, just add here task status status dot model ts. So then we can export type task priority or not priority actually status type, which will be the task interface will be cloud pending and done. So on this end, have it them, which should be equal to that. Then can reuse that here. Then if we come to get color, already use that here. So if we have done, if it's done, or then medium, for medium you can use pending also. So if I do then this is a fall through case, so it will just make sure either of this, if either of these conditions is met, then we return this given color. So if we get back to our task list, the components, the views of the task list. So we can just remove this, then get badge color. It's already imported. So if we go back to our application, to tasks, should still work. Because we're supposed to reuse this. Go now to our dashboard. We can move the dashboard. We can try and use it to color our site. So we can add a class, a bound class here. Then we add get status, get badge color. So then we just pass the value. Not the value, actually, that's the key. Yeah. So with that, you can see we already have something. So for priorities, you'll see we have medium, low, high. Then group cards, they're neutral, so they'll just take the default grade. For statuses, we only have two. That is, we have pending and either done. So we've been working on these cards, and so far we haven't had a way of maybe marking a task as completed or not. So let me first add some icons here. So you can use hero icons here. So using PNP, just install them. So once I've installed the hero icons, I can use them here in our task list and just import whatever it is. So let's say trash from hero icons view. Then let's trash icon. So let me see what icons are available here. So there should be a list of it somewhere here. I'm looking for trash. So we have trash icon. We don't need to. Okay. I'm not sure if this exists. Oh, it's declared but never used. So instead of cross, we can use the trash here. Trash icon. Okay. So we already have the trash icon here. So what's left is just to make sure it shows up. Let's first confirm it. Cannot resolve. So I'm not sure what is in here. Okay, let me use what these people are and see whether. Oh, let's try this. Okay. Oh, trash. Trash. So then with that, we can just put a plus here for h4. That should make it appear. Then we can now remove this extra padding. Yes, so remove that. Then we can have here what's known as, so here change, because we already changed the status of that task. So we pass the task ID and status we want to change. So we want to mark it as done. So then we can use check mark. Not sure we have that check. Maybe we can check icon. So with that check icon should be that, but this should be green. Not red. So we should have green here. Okay, so with this you can just like this so that so if I delete should be gone, but if I mark it as done I should be still having it. Let's see, so if I mark this as done, this status changes to done, and we move to our dashboard here, you'll see we have done. So I think our app is kind of ready. So we have two done and we have one pending. So with priority tasks, we have only 3 tasks. So if I maybe go to the hospital, I should go actually. So due date maybe tomorrow. That. Then select a group. Then instead of work, we can have also maybe a group where we make it as other. But you can see we have 2 medium level and 1 high priority. So it's kind of, I think this is simple enough, but if we're going to use like a backend API, then you can just use that. So I'm thinking of other things, of either sorting this table. But I think for major part of whatever we wanted to achieve, we've achieved that. So I'll just try to adjust the header here so that in the header we can have a BG of white, then some padding too. Maybe we have it at 1, then the X of 4, then you can put it down there. Yeah. So you can have it at that. Then with this, we can maybe try and adjust. Let me just space things out here a bit. So on these actions, I can have them in a div, and this div will drop around here, then we can just use now flex, then you can to space things out a bit. So then we can also bind the status here, the status, just the same way we bound this part. We can bind it to the status. Instead of priority, we can add status. Then here also, instead of just collapse this, instead of priority, we'll have status. So that will go both ways, so that if there's a done task, it's marked as green, and if you have a pending task, then we can mark it as yellow. So try and do kind of, I'm going to add some sort feature. So how we are going to approach this will be quite, what do we say, kind of, how do we do a recursive sort? We can use one field to make it easy, but let's just go with a single field. Then for those fields, let's have it as in our task store. So then in here, so we'll have our sort order. So with the sort, we'll have this kind of structure for the type. So it will be an index signature of a given key, which will be in a key of task interface. Then it will either be a 1 or -1. So this is what is expected, but instead of going for this, we'll just have it as a string. And with that, and now it comes to the sort, we'll add a sort feature here. Sort. So for the sort, what we'll do is to just, so it will take a key. Okay. So we'll take a key which will be key of, so key of the tasks that we're having. So meaning that, so that key, we can't have something which is outside that scope. So meaning we'll just check if the sort order, so if it doesn't have a sort order, then we'll try and swap. So let's see, because in here we have that status. Then for the sort, we have just an empty object there. Then we'll also have an empty object here. We'll just do that. So after doing that, we just try and see. If so we see if key, so if you check here key, it is priority, title, due date, description. So we just check if key in task store dot value dot sort. So if it's there, that means it's already sorted. Then we'll just check. Else, what we'll do, should we like persist this, or should we use it as something which is computed? For computed, I think it will work best, because if you're sorting, that means when you're doing an entry, we'll also have to sort. So if key in this, what we'll do, we'll just check if so then we'll assign sort, then we pass in the key will be, so the value which will be the key, if it's equal to 1, then we assign -1, else we assign 1. Otherwise, we just take this and assign -1. So if it's not existing, it's in default. Then if it's in default, then that means, let's see, I'm trying to think around it. So we can have this under a watch, or we can have it as something which is complicated. Okay, let's just go with the first approach. So if I have a list of keys, I need to recursively sort all of them. Or another way is to just reset the sort first. And just I'm going to just do let's first see on how to go about this. Um, so let's see. So let's have a computed property here. Sorted tasks, which will be computed because our function here okay. I have an idea on this, so we can have a key, maybe a sort field. So with this sort field, will be a key of task interface. So when someone sorts, we actually don't reset. Okay. We don't reset anything, but we set the sort key. Set the sort key. Task store dot sort key value dot sort key sort field, which will be the key which we are getting from the client. So this means we'll do the first sort, then the second sort, then the third sort. Based on the field which will be incoming, then we can do that. Then let's just disable those logs. So when now we get to this computed portion of it, it means instead of trying to compute everything, we'll just check for our tasks. So we return so let's say we have our tasks now dot value dot data dot sort. So we'll sort element one. Usually most people like A and B usually, That's the conventional way of doing this. So what we'll do is to let's see, we have A and B, and what is to be returned is, so we can have this callback function which returns for us, instead of comparing the two, we just return it directly. So post store dot value dot sort, we sort, then we pass post store dot value dot sort field. So I'm not sure if this will work, but let's give it a try. Selected a comma. Okay. So when we get back here, so this should be done if and only if this should be done if and only if post store dot value sort field dot sort field, then return that. Otherwise we just return 1. That return 1. So we'll default to this end. So we, in our data now, currently we have this. Then if we'll try and sort with priority, then let's see here. Our data which will be returned will be this value. So nothing has changed. So because nothing has changed, we can leverage now trying to do the sorting. For the sorting, I'll come back here, look for sort. Arrow. So we try look for these components. So then when we get back to what's the problem here, okay, we have sort field. Yeah, will complain. So, or just an empty string. So I think that should do. So once we have that in place, we can get back to our task list. Then instead of just having these ones, we can do this. Okay, let's start with the priority.
Low battery, please charge.
So with this, we add priority here. Then we can just add up, arrow down, then arrow up icon. So we have arrow up icon, then we also have arrow down. So if we go back to priority, we should see these two arrows. But what do we do with that? We need them to be clickable. So let's click. We should be able to do t dot actions dot sort. So after sorting, I think we're supposed to sync actually. Then wait sync. Let's do sync. So we start with which field priority? Okay. So let's see. So it should be arrows up, down, arrow. Just one. this one is enough so that so we have the router view, task list, status, so T action, get task, we have stats, and maybe we can add on something here, sort the task store, then we can get sort return task store value sort, so that we can visualize it in here. So we can refresh. Just list geters. So in the sort, we have nothing at the moment. If I click on this, then you'll see priority is 1. We click again. It is saying -1. So meaning something is not changing. So let's try and omit the rest there. And see what happens. Okay. Now the task list here. So we come to the getters, we have the sort, which has nothing at the moment. Click on it. We have -1 set. Click on it again. It's not changing. Interesting. So we can load this and see why it's not changing. So we can load in. We can just extract that. And not in. So if we, this means you have real. Oh, okay, so that's why. So if I sort, interesting. So why is it not switching? So we are in -1. Actually, it's working. For this part, it's working. It's just that is it really synchronizing? It is not syncing. Right. So refresh this. Try to, and actually it's not updating the state. So if I do this, so how can we now handle this? So let's say we remove the sync part, then it's still misbehaving. So in the getters, I think instead of returning the data, you can just return the data first. Let's start with first store dot data dot value dot data. So from there, you can determine the problem where it's located. So apparently this is working. This is working. So the issue is with the sorted. So the sorted tasks, so what you can do is to just check here. Let's say we need to have a sort requires us to sort elements in array without mutating the original array is there. Okay, use the to sorted. A B first element for comparison will never be undefined. B for the relevant field. For method, the array elements are converted to strings, then sorted according to each character in code. Field. The reference to original array now sorted. Okay, this is to sorted. I'm not sure if this exists. Okay, then we can in our getters we can try another version. No problem so far. And yep, it's working. So what is left is to, so we should return, is it really syncing? We're supposed to sync this to update the status of this. So if I refresh, should, okay, that really, let's check on it. Application, let's try this first. Refresh. So under test, test, medium priority work, and simple. Save, will that, then another, select group work, high, save, grade high and low. This need us to sort is not there, so if we add priority is now -1, we sort again, it's now 1. We refresh, should retain, and I think that's good. So sort is now working. If I mark this as done, I'll probably switch to with our task list. As the smart so arrow up, down, icon. So I just need to copy this, take it here to due date. Then we change this to due date. Copy the same. Status, go to status. Yeah. So group, we can add it also in group. So with group, so at the moment we have this. So I can sort either from pending, should be working okay. I want, this is still okay. So what I can adjust, maybe if I have something which is working tomorrow's task, let's say that will fall under maybe hobby, then tomorrow's task, then priority, let's say it's low, then save. So currently we have a medium and where is it? We have hobby, work. So this will set in 15 hours. Then this one is in the past. So meaning, so 9 hours in the past, meaning since midnight. So if I sort with this, you'll see it will push down. Then we can also switch based on work and hobby. We go to status, we can. So apparently I haven't really added for the group. We need to use group. For the status, we need to use status. So that when we now start with status, it's working on status, not something else. Why is it not working on status? So maybe if I just confirm what's going on here. So for our getters, we have our sort. So if we sort with that, so it's sorting on the status, then we have due date, we have priority, status. Pending should move close to pending. So why? So let's first I'll need to add a class here. Sort icon. Then connect apply. Actual two before then for this sort icon you can plug it in all these. So class will be looks better. For the group, so for the header we can always have So we have legs, them center, legs, Nora, then white space, Nora, so that whatever is displayed up there, uppercase, then font, medium, text, SM. So X, then where did I set? It should be XS. Okay. For this, okay. So after that, just add a gap of 2 so that we have a bit of space. Just one should be enough. And so we can just copy this class and use it across. Develop status. Yeah. So we can sort. Another thing which I've forgotten should be cursor. Cursor should be pointer so that you hover on it, you click. So so I don't think this sort works well. So because we have an idea of how things should be, maybe now we can use ChatGPT. So okay. Okay. It's object starting. Okay, so have this approach. Then this is my set criteria. The function pass sorted is supposed to convert two elements, but instead you're just returning the. This doesn't actually compare items in the array. You need to modify the sort function. Okay. So I need to have a field, sort order. Okay. If not field, return otherwise. Okay. Put that in. Then we'll have A and B. And now it works. Future task. So this in 17 days, if I sort like that, 1759 hours, then we'll study work. We needed to add another category here for this, so that other, so I can do this here. So we have our sort feature working well. If we check in the dev tools, we can sort with the priorities already here. We refresh. Task list getters sort. We have nothing. So sort with the status. It is -1 if I refresh. You still have it. It is not syncing. So that working, that work here. So we can omit that, I think. To sorted. Why is it saying this? So after sorting, we need to sync. Okay. About this. So we have our task. It's sorting quite well. Yeah. So this is it, I think. What should be done here? Many improvement should be probably testing. So in our task list, what you can do is to where we are toggling the done. So if something is done, we can um, bind a class here. Maybe strike text. So this will be task dot status as opposed to so if it's done, then we can say text. So tailwind strike. Okay, so then we can just say yes, transition. So we can transition is Then what else doing? Using duration. So if something is not done, then on this button, T, let's say 50 test status is equals to ending, then we call else we call the reverse. Ending. So if this is done, you can just switch it. Just switch it up. Interesting. So currently something is off. So future. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I know why. So when you toggle a state, it sorts. It's sorting based on whatever you've already sorted. Then now it takes it on the level. So if we sort by status or done, so if something is not done, it will move up. So if it is done, it will stay. If I take tomorrow's task, it will rise up in the rank. Yeah. So I think we have quite a number of things we have here. So our dashboard not looking that great, but it does the task, showcases what we have. I think for this application, I will just have to end this live for this project because I think major milestone is achieved and we can move to something else. So there are a bunch of so many things that we've done here. So we've done components. There's some here. Look like sort why it's opening. Maybe we just get this interface and this interface. Exist. Okay, no problem. So as long as it's working, Presented I think is a new function. But okay, takeaways from this, we started out We started out by just simple components, then building reusable layouts. Then from there we built a simple state. So after building that state, we kind of switched up. We're still using state here on the form, but for things that we needed to reuse across, we isolated them so that we could use them, have them in a store. And we created a simple serializer that serializes our data to local storage. So then from our task groups, this one does not need serialization since we just have the static data here. But for the task store, this is now where it was a bit complex, and we had to have initialize our storage here. Then when we load up the application, we preload the deserialized data. Then for this, we had we created this storage such that when you deserialize, when you get an undefined state, then you can pass a default or a fallback data. So then we just initialize it, then that's what we pass to our task store ref variable. Then now based on this task store, we just so this group task stats is just collecting based on the groups that you have. That's what's displayed here. So this is for groups. We also have one for priority. So this will check the priority for each element that we have in our state. Then we also have one for status. They are following more or less the same approach. Then now we had the sort feature. So for the sort feature, it was prudent to have it using the to sorted makes sure that we don't actually affect the original array. So it creates a copy, then it returns that copy. So meaning based on the copy that you're having in the state, on a global state, we will not take that one. We just create a copy, then that copy is which we manipulate with the sort. Then now we return to the user. So in the sort here, we'll just get a task. So we have a selected field for sorting. Then we get it. After getting it, we check if it's a valid field, whether it's an empty string, then we just return 0. So there's no sorting at that point. Otherwise, we try and check if we pass the field which is there, get the value, we return -1. So this -1, we multiply by the sort order. So the sort order which is already existing. So it should flip. So if it's -1, you multiply by -1, it should go to +1. If you multiply -1 by a positive, then should remain in -1. So that's what's done here. So just comparing these fields, and remember, if you're sorting using JavaScript, usually it converts everything to string version, then tries to compare the string order. So that's why you really need to pass a way of sorting so that you can override that kind of feature. So getting into the actions, our actions are asynchronous in that on any state change, we decided that if we need to sync this state to the local storage, so we'll just be synchronizing. We serialize the data which is incoming, but catch was we don't need to, because if you have an application that maybe depends on user needs to look for something, if you're serializing, whatever you feed into the local storage should have a loading state of false. Reason for that is you can have a indefinite state where loading is true, then you're showing the loader the data is already loaded and network is gone, so you don't have a way of resetting that state for the user. So that's why when we're serializing into the store, we set loading to false, then we feed it into our local storage. So here we just be performing our sort. You pass a key, then that key we check if key already in our sort. If it's already there, we check if it's 1, we flip. If not, we return 1. Otherwise, we just set the key, then make it -1 to sort in descending order. Then after that, we just change the key which is being sorted. So afterwards, then we synchronize this to our local storage. In our add task, we were doing an omit of the task interface. So all tasks come in as pending. So we'll just exclude ID and status so that we can feed them automatically into the system without requiring the user. So here we add a function for generating an ID, just randomize, extract and slice the first 2 decimals. Then I remain with the hexadecimal part of that string. We construct a task, then we just push it, then we sync, then we make it loading false. So we have change status for a task. We just go through our tasks, map through them, because map the mapping. Then now we update the status based on the status which is incoming, whether it's pending or completed or done. Then we have the delete task, which now omits the task ID that passed. In our getters, this was just creating an object that will return to us data that is already processed. Like for starts, we process the priorities, the groups, the status, and the sort. Then at the last moment, we just use this. So if you are someone who has used React, you things like hooks. So in Vue, these are called composables. So they have this use something prefix. Then now you can just import, and we've reused this across the application for the task list, for the task form, and the dashboard. So for most part of whatever we've done here, this is what how Vue works generally. And in any application, you'll just find that such kind of things are the ones that you'll be reusing. And I think I'll just crown it by that. In that I started a series on Vue.js internals, and I halted on the way. Was working on something without maybe a practical example was kind of not, we can say, wasn't so practical. So that's why I decided to have a series of building this task up. I think there are a couple of videos. We've had challenges here and there. I personally don't trim off. So whatever you see is whatever I'm experiencing on the ground. And I know if you'll be working on this, you'll also probably face some of them. I haven't faced all, but because this was just a simple one without using an API, it's kind of it's a win. And personally, I've learned a thing or two from this, however simple it may look. But there are a lot of things to take away from here. We had a way of adding these tasks. So if you add a task here, I will see we have form validation. So apparently for the first portion, when you submitted the form for the first time, if it's successful, then you delete something, then you find that you could still submit that form. So we have to like find a way to reset everything so that when we do the next submission, it's fresh, and we reset the form. We did refs. So in React also there's the concept of refs. Here we also did refs. And for this part, for these refs, you don't need to like bind it. In React, you have to bind it like in JavaScript, but here in Vue.js, as long as the name is here, it doesn't matter. You just pass that name as a string like this, then Vue will automatically resolve that. And we tried to use this, but reason why I removed this was if you check the documentation for this, fires when the user resets a form. So with that, method restores a form element to default value. This method does same thing, clicking from input type reset. So I left it out. So I resolved to having a default value. So when we change the default value, then we reset the validation. So on mounted, I think this hook we were testing out to see whether we could resolve the form. But all in all, what we used here were validate. You can see even here in use validate. This is a composable, just the same way we're using the use task store. So it's quite a lot in here. We did validation based on having messages, having custom methods like this one for task priority. So with this, I think you can do a grade 1 application in Vue.js, and I think much more is yet to come. So thank you for those who have been part of this. I will start another series soon. So now I'll just say bye bye. For the code, I will already have it in the description. So if you need access to it, I've been pushing code to it. You can go through the commits and see the changes that we've been making in the process. Commit. Okay, so content.